Hi, beautiful shining stars. So I created this video because I had this was during the last major shift that we had right before Thanksgiving, and I just had like a whirlpool of people coming to my channel, and they were overwhelming my assistants and myself because they were going through major stuff. So, I do have a spiritual shop, so people automatically come to me for help, with their problems and situations. And while I do have a lot of tools to, help you get out of your own like rut energy, if you're not teachable, like if you're not that, how do I explain? So when we're in this rut energy, that's all we see. We're kind of like consumed by it because we can't pay the bills, or your beloved left you, or you had like a major, passing of someone really close to you. Like there's that a lot of things that occur that put you in this red energy. And even worse, I've heard one of the remember during the COVID craziness, I had one girl wanted to do angel healing over her mother, and my spiritual guides, while they never told me, because they don't, like, at least for me, my spiritual guides don't tell me when somebody's about to pass or anything. While they didn't tell me that this woman was going to, pass over, um, they did tell me to refund the young lady and just tell her to do a lot of prayers and to try to connect with her mom. And this was really hard because I had heard all the stories, but I was never really in the middle of it. And she couldn't see her mom because this is in a time that you couldn't be in the hospitals. So people were losing their family and they couldn't be there with them. I remember I told my kids, if we catch COVID, we're not going to the hospital. Like, if we need to go, we're going right here together, because the stories that we were hearing, the news that we're seeing, I got to a point that I stopped watching because it was so sad. And being part of someone that was going through that was like really like in your face energy. And she had a lot of guilt because she lived far away from her mom. She hadn't seen her in years, hadn't seen her mom in years. They had an estranged relationship. So there was just a lot of dark Lala energy, there. And then she was going through that guilt. She was going through that in your face. I'm going to lose my mom before I could fix things, before I could hug her. And that was her main thing. I can't hug my mom. I can't hug my mom. So, when my angels said, hey, Daisy, you need to refund her, it wasn't a lot. I think my healings are only 55. I don't even do them anymore, because it does take a lot of energy from me. So I try to get away from all of that. So I refunded her money, and of course, she automatically assumed. So it was really hard because I couldn't like console her because she was going through this. This is something that she was meant to go through. And I know that, people like, you'll judge me and be like, you don't understand. And I was like, I do understand. I do understand because I've been around a lot of people that have passed. I have lost grandmothers. I have lost great aunts. I have lost young cousins. I've lost, a lot of people that are really close to you. And one of the things that I always am grateful for is that I got to spend a lot of quality time with them. I got to, and I'm the type of person that I could leave this world tomorrow and have no guilt or resentment because I have fully enjoyed my life. I have done everything that I desire. I have, enjoyed what is my main thing is spending time with my family, and I do that. That is my most happiest, and I do that. Even now that I'm having issues with, per se, my parents and my siblings, I still send them love. I still send them healing. I still call them. I don't do negativity. I don't allow negativity. I don't care how bad it is. I don't do it. If someone does hurt you in a way that really, really obstructs you and traumatizes you, then yeah, say your goodbyes, and that person is not part of your circle. But someone like a mother, a father, a sibling that you love and that you want to be with, and you have this strained relationship, you need to pick up the phone. And I feel like COVID did a lot of that, but then now we're going past the COVID, and I still see people that are like, oh, I'm so pissed at my parents, I haven't talked to them, they're this, that, and the other. And I have drama with my parents too, but I still call them and say, how are you doing? Maybe I won't spend time with them because of the other dark Lala energy, because of their belief system. But I don't believe in that estranged energy to the point of if they pass away that I'm going to feel any guilt or resentment because while they were living I didn't do nothing. I feel like that is our fault, and we could have gotten out of the energy of ego and connected. And then, she did message me a lot, and I sent her a lot of condolences, sympathy. I sent her healing meditations just to help her because she had to like go through that energy, and I know that's like a hard energy. um with that, I have people that come to me because they'll tell me, and I'm going to read off. I think about it, hun. I'm broke at minute. She meant that she was broke at the minute. Thank you very much, Miss Lily. I I'm see about doing that when I get paid. Glad to have touch bases. Take care in the meantime. I don't need much, to be honest. I'm not greedy. That one really struck me. I would love to buy your work, but I just can't afford it. You should give your work away for free. It's a gift from God. I just don't understand why it's so easy for some and not for me. I get that all the time. I've been scammed by other psychics. I don't have any money. Can you please help me? And I promise I will pay you afterwards. Thank you. You are so helpful and caring. I just don't have the money right now. So these are real messages that I've taken, and that's just like a little bit, because if not, it would take the whole listing. And I get that. I get that you've been scammed. I get that you don't have money. I get that some of you think that this is some kind of gift and I should just give it away. But this is not a gift. There's something I worked really hard with, a lot of experience, with a lot of energy, with taking care, with expanding, and you could do this too. Now, I'm not going to say that the things that I do, you're going to do, because we all have our footprints. We're all meant to do our own things in life. But when we get out of our own ways, when we get out of that hate and that anger and that resentment and that guilt, and we just forgive what they have done to you, forgive what the past did. I still have moments that I think about things that could have been done differently, that my parents could have done differently. I think about it, and when that comes in, I look at it and I'm like, okay, why am I looking at this? Why did this memory come up? And I might journal about it. I might I'll write what hurt I felt, what pain I felt, the suffering I felt, and then I write what I learned, how I grew from it, how it made me who I am today. And those are things that are just really important, because we're growing, we're expanding, we're changing. It's like, come on, people. So I created this listing for you guys. So there's no excuses, because this costs less than a Starbucks coffee, people. So I wrote about the client, and then so this is what I did for my broke clients. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, and I stated that I don't want you to feel like I'm belittling you, because I'm not. Because I was there. I didn't even have money to buy my cup of coffee. I started couponing because I didn't have enough to feed my family. So I know what it is to struggle. I know what it is to live in the poverty-stricken mentality and rut energy and not seeing a way out. It wasn't until I learned to connect with my spiritual self, to access my higher power, to really come up. And there's moments like I had 7-figure income in 2020 and 2021, and then 2022 it went all the way down to 30, 40, 50,000. I'm just talking about myself. I don't want you to feel like, and when things happen like that, you're just like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to make lots of money, and then you're going to have times that you don't make money, or you're going to be unhealthy. I was sick September and October, super duper sick. You're going to come across experiences in your life. Learning this doesn't mean that life is going to be peaches and cream, and I don't want you to think that I'm going to do this and my life is going to be rainbows and butterflies, because that is not so. We're still going to go through experiences. We're still going to learn from different areas of our life. But the point is to be at a place when I lost half of my salary or income, something bigger and better came through, you know? And yeah, at that moment, I was like, oh boy, pinching pennies, telling, because the thing with me is I'm a giver. So I'm the type of person that I'm like, I'll pay all the bills because I can. So I don't ask anybody for anything. And in spirits like Daisy, this is a time that and it's a life lesson for me, because then there was a time for me to say to my beloved, hey, guess what? You need to pay the rent. Hey, guess what, child of mine? You need to pay the internet. So it's like us learning how to overcome all the obstacles instead of, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it, and melting. Because when we get into that melting state, that um I can't even use my phone because it's mine. I have this client right now, and she's going through ups and downs. She's really going. She has her moments she does okay, and then she has a moment she doesn't, because when we are affected by our beloveds, our relationships are not what they are. We made promises to each other, and then the person that you trusted is not giving. They'll tell you, oh, I love you, this and that and the other, but then they don't go that extra mile, or worse, they promise they'll do this and then they don't. That brings turmoil. That brings, because it's someone that's telling them I'm going to do this and they don't. I'm a bit of a diva. So when my husband tells me he's going to do something, he doesn't do it, I will call him out on it. I don't pray and wish for him to come out of it. I will literally call him out. Or if he notices I'm giving him the cold, if I tell him, you did this, I don't like this, and then he doesn't change it, and then he's noticing I'm giving him the cold shoulder, and then he's like, why are you being mean? And I'm like, well, I told you, I don't want to deal with that. So then he's like, okay, let me reassess, because sometimes we are different vibrations and energies, and some of us, especially males, and I'm sorry guys that you're coming into here, but women don't tell you what they feel, and then you don't understand them. So then there's that lack in communication. So when that occurs, it brings, chaos into that connection. And that's when the problems start. So you want to be with someone that's your partner, that's your lover, that's your soulmate, not someone that you have to be constantly working on. Like, that's not a relationship. And a lot of us hold on to these relationships we're constantly working on because of we love them, or we don't want to let them go because we're used to them. So there's like a lot of that. And then I'm sharing all of this because all of this causes that rut energy. All of this is why you don't have money, because everything is energy. And if my relationship is not where I would like it to be, or my relationship with my family, or my relationship with my job, my co-workers, my friends, if that energy is not where it's up, then my vibration goes down, and then that's what brings issues with my money. If I don't have good relationship with people, if I don't have good relationship with myself, then it's gonna just bring chaos all around, and it's the broke status. So I write that. Okay, I wrote, and this is very, people freak out because when they come to me, I know there's like so many scammers out there because I've seen them. Like, I've had clients that are like, Daisy, somebody messaged me and told me like bad stuff about you. So there's other shops on Etsy that there's such a low vibration because all they care is about the money. So they're scamming people. I don't have to tell you this. You hear all of these like celebrity witches or higher end psychics that have all these, huge followings, and then they'll have people mimic their pictures, their postings. They start Instagram pages, they'll change the name a little bit, and they start messaging people to buy their services and readings and stuff. And this is not the real person. So this is happening on Etsy as well. I feel like Etsy hasn't really found, maybe in the algorithm, they need to figure out, because if I have a client and you're coming to my client and you're talking bad about me because of XYZ, I don't let that get to me, because guess what? I'm still making money. Clients are still coming to me. And the funny thing is, clients of yours that use scams are coming to me to help them because I'm not a scammer. So when they meet my integrity and my honesty, they freak out, and they always tells me, and it makes me feel good. It also makes me feel bad for them because you got scammed, and that sucks. So I said I love my work, And I know that if we were all in a better space, we would help each other out. And this is why I do it. Because I know that if you've gone through hell in your life and you don't have no money, and if you get lots of money, if you're not everybody, but if you're a good person, a loving person, a person who wants to help their family, help their friends, I know because they do it to me. Like, I have clients, that's why I have tips on my Etsy shop in different amounts. I know somebody freaked out because, like, Daisy, you have $5,000. Who gives me $5,000? I've had clients give me $5,000 because they have won large sums of money on the lottery or in their poker games or in their gambling, whatever. I don't do any of that stuff. So to when they tell me that they want this or they got that or whatever, business ventures, bonuses, promotions, and they'll send me 100, 1,000, 5,000. So people freak out because they're like, how does that happen? And they do it all the time because they're grateful, because of what I'm saying, because that's the energy I'm giving out. Because I know that if you are a good person and you go from being broke to being a multimillionaire, you're going to help those people on the street that you see with 3 kids asking for food. You're not going to judge them because, I get a lot of people, they're like, oh, but they're probably doing that. And I'm like, if they're there in the middle of the street, that is not comfortable. It's hot. And then they're having their little babies. And I'm seeing some people that you could tell are in need. Okay. I've seen women that are pregnant selling flowers. And I always, like, even though those flowers are like dead, I got to the point that I would just give them the money and be like, don't worry, I don't need your flowers. Sell it to someone else. Because the point is, if you're out there, that's your job. Believe it or not, that's their job. That's the only thing they feel like they could do. It's not for you to judge if they're going to spend it on rent or if they're going to spend it on drugs. It's not for you to judge. You are a good person, a loving person, a person that wants to help. So stop judging. And I feel like when we stop judging each other and we start helping each other, our world shifts and we start manifesting and amplifying, and it's so, so beautiful. So I wrote that. I said, I love that you create magic that works and blesses others. That is what this listing is all about. I created this listing and I wrote it for my broke ass bitches because I was there too. And some of people will be like, oh no, but I don't want to, and the ritual is not called broke ass bitches. It's called wishes fulfilled guaranteed. Broke bitches manifest that shit. Wishes fulfilled ritual. You can have anything, spells, scripting, but I said please read. Here's something I get from my clients: nobody fucking reads. Nobody reads. They'll buy I create the listing and I write as much information because I want to be able to answer everybody's questions. They still ask me the same exact questions and listening. That's why I had to get an assistant, because I don't have time for all the people that come to my work, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to hire a virtual assistant that could get back to your messages. There's some that they don't touch. Like, I'll have like clients that are my clients, and they want messages from me, so I'm like, this person, that person, just don't answer them. I got that because those are like my clients from a long time, from when I started. So I wrote a lot. I understand that you may not have a penny to your name. The young earth angel sent me a book about how her life was complete turmoil, how her beloved left her, and how other psychics scammed her, how she really needed my help, and she promised that she would pay me after the work was done. I interacted with her and I said, the best thing for you is to get a reading. Why? In my readings, I connect with your spiritual team. They will share everything you need to know at the moment in time. My love readings are around $20. They're $28.88. My Sacred Cross readings are about approximately $40. I think they're like $38 or $39. And I get past, present, and future up to 6-month time frame. She said she could not afford the $20 reading. I created my audios just for you broke clients. My audios use the divine law of assumption so you can break down the walls of that reality. When I first started, like when I first started in the 90s, I love spirituality. And I really hope that you watch this video thoroughly and you really hone in on everything I'm sharing with you. Because if you're coming into a space that you want the help and that you're like, I'm at the end. I don't know what to do. I have no money. You're in ground zero. You're starting from scratch. This is your starting point. This is that little flame that is going to ignite the big flame, the big manifestation. And we all start. I started at ground zero a couple of times because I married really young. I got with my husband, and when I was 15, we were both kids. I was 15, he was 19. I had our first baby when I was 16, 17. Um, so I know how hard it is to be, because I've always wanted to have my kids young, but I didn't think about I was going to have them that young, right? I'm still with my husband. He's still the same person that I married over 30 years ago. So the point is that we go through ups and downs. We go through different energies and different vibrations. And one moment we're up and one moment we're down. But I've always had that beautiful spiritual guide always giving me ideas and inspirations. Unfortunately, my drama has always been the circle, the people around me. And the worst part is that they're always, the people that have brought me down have been the closest ones to me. My mother, my father, my mother-in-law. They were like the people that you go to because they're the adults. They're the ones that should know better. And they're the ones that actually sabotage things for me. Major things. Major things. My mother sabotaged such a major thing for me that I've written and forgave and let go and release. And every so often I think about that because I'm like, that would have been so awesome, you know. And one of these people that was supposed to be part of that big passed away, so I never really got to connect. And it was because I listened to my mother, because she was so adamant about something, and I was at such a young age. And you are influenced by your parents. You're influenced because you think that they know better. And I'm here to tell you that your higher self knows beyond anyone in your life. Listen to your higher self. When your higher self, when you know, Eminem says, opportunity comes knocking, my friends. When they come knocking, you need to open up that door. You not allow the parents, not allow the brothers, not allow the sisters, the spouses, no one to sabotage. Because guess what? Once you manifest and are successful, you're able to help everyone. Because I think about it all the time. I was like, how ignorant that I could have been in such a status that they would have been doing so good. And like, even now that I am not even at the status that I want to be, and I help so much, that feels so good to me. It just feels so good to help. And to be able to be like, this week I'm not going to work. Like yesterday, my phone was ringing, text messages, emails. My assistant took care of everything. I hung out with my husband and my daughter. We went out to eat. I came home and watched TV, and I was in bed by 10:30. Can you imagine that? You imagine that. In 2019, I was working my butt off, doing the sidekick, working my butt off, and still did not have enough. Still struggled. Yes, and then I would have like spurts of like, I would make money. But when you have those spurts, what do? You have bills to pay. You have gifts to buy. You have things. In my course that I created, I teach you all of this. I show you all of this. For one, I experienced it all. For two, I figured out how to get out of it. So, I wrote, please do not purchase unless you're going to do it. I already have one client purchase it, and I still haven't gotten an email. People, I don't know, they assume that they're going to purchase it. I don't know if it's, and this is the reason why courses are expensive, is because if you pay for someone over $100, you are going to do it because that costs you a pretty penny. I've noticed it. Human mind is very finical. If they pay less, they feel like it's not worth it. It's like going to buy a Coach bag or going to the Goodwill and getting a secondhand used bag. You don't see it the same, you don't treat it the same, you don't honor it the same. It is incredible to me. I've studied this forever. I've seen this in my clients. I've seen this in the world because I'm the type of person that I'm very in the now. I know what's going on. So I see everything. Please do not purchase this unless you're going to do it. And I'm telling you, don't get this unless you're going to do it. Unless you're going to do this, I know it's $2.22, I think it is, or $3.30. I don't even know how much it is. I know that a lot of you are not going to do it. You're going to buy it. And because it costs you less than $5, you're not going to do it. So don't lose the $5. Only purchase this if you really want to change your life. And this is just, like I said, this is the flame. This is the start. You will download the file. You're going to need a computer. I write it there because people drive me crazy because everybody's on their darn phones. You need to download the file because you get the first book, the scripting book. You get the Broke Bitches lesson to get out of that rut. This is to get out of that rut. You're spending less than $5 so you can get out of your way. The questions that are asked, the script that I send with you is so powerful. But you have to do it and you have to repeat it. This is not a one-time thing. This is not, I'm going to do it one time and it's just going to happen. No, this is every single day you're going to use a script. Every single day because you want it. Because you want to change your life. Because you want to clear the energy. So you're going to need to download. You're going to need a computer. I even put a link on how to download the files from Etsy. Now, this is the first scripting workbook plus the how to get out of the rut energy. I called it Wishes Fulfilled script. This is going to really supercharge and clear you. Not to mention that I'm sending you the Archangel Michael clearing. My Patreons love that. And the funny thing is, not all Patreons did it. Not all Patreons did that. You don't know, sometimes like my Patreons will come to me, or my scripting clients will come to me, because I have scripting clients that every month do the scripting course with me. Every single month. Just because they love that I create the scripts for them. That's why my scripting course is $333. Because you get your spiritual insights. You connect with your spiritual angelic team. I send you the script through them so you could do the work. And some of them, they just love to read the script. They like to act out the script. And sometimes they'll come to me in their rut because they're still going through stuff. And I'm like, you need to go back to your workbook. You need to go back to the lesson. You need to redo the lesson. And then I want to see what you wrote. I want to see what you did. And that's the interaction that you get. This is why it's $333, because it's a hands-on. I'm really looking at where you are, what you're doing, what is working, and what is not working. This is why I say the manifestation's guaranteed, because I'm there. And this is why I have a client that I started this in June, and she's done all the way through, and we're at the end of 2022. So I know this works. She loves it. She loves it because she's now up to her 6-figure business, where she was like a dream for her, and she's realizing this. I have another one who is working on his multi-million-dollar business. So it feels really good that I'm connecting with people that are working on big stuff. Like my clients I have celebrity clients, elite clients, and I have homeless clients. We're all the same. We're just on different areas in our lives, on different points in our lives. I have actors that I've loved working with because they wanted like certain castings, and seeing them manifest them I've cried with them. Because then they send me like the pilots and the little things that they're allowed to send me, and it's just like I sob because it feels good that I know that, oh my God, I met this person from that person and they did it, we did it together. It feels so good. So once you do this, the whole point of this is so you could have the money to be able to change your life. So this is going to take you from the broke status to cash flow. And then once you get the okay, so you want to, I put the link below if you're coming to my YouTube channel and seeing this from YouTube. So what you're going to do is you're going to, of course, read the entire, it says learn more about this item, and you're going to read the entire description so you get details about what you are receiving. And then you will get the first workbook. You're gonna get the script, a powerful script that you're going to use every single day to get yourself out of that broke status into that wealth status, that prosperity status, that money flow status. We're gonna delete that disgusting word from your vocabulary. I will be sending you the Archangel Michael unblocking so you could clear that rut, whatever it is, whatever your love life, your you know, negative energy. You know, a lot of people, you come to me, you're like, oh, they cast negative spells on me, and you got all this negative lala energy just kind of flowing and you want to get out of it. So I'm going to send you that powerful Archangel Michael clearing that you're going to use. You could start with that. You're going to use the wealth unblocking so you could clear that poverty stricken energy. So there's this whole thing is just to get you out of the rut. And then you'll get the manifesting, the 555. So that's going to put you in the plus. That's going to put you in where you're going to have the money to take my scripting class if you desire. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe this is all you need. Maybe this is just gonna super vamp. And maybe you just want to get a reading or something. The point is that you will no longer be that broke person. You're gonna have, you know, $555 plus or better or more in your life to use towards growing, expanding, you know. Because here's the thing, sometimes we'll get a little bit of money and we're like, oh, this is enough, and the next month comes around and you're still in that energy, and it's because you don't set those bigger goals. And this is why my scripting class is so empowering, is because not only do I help you clear that rut energy, but then you don't become content with, you know, this was the one that really where was it? I don't need much, to be honest. I'm not greedy. So it's that mind frame, that ego energy that tells you that having more, that having a lot makes you greedy. And that is not so. That is not so. Being wealthy, being prosperous, being abundant, having multi-millions and $1 billion in your account does not make you greedy. Especially if you're loving, especially if you're giving. Think about all the things that you could do for each other. Think about how you could help your family, your children, your grandchildren, your parents. You know, think about, you know, there's many of us that are parents, you know, migrated here from different countries, and they work their asses off to get us to go to school and make better lives for ourselves, you know. And a lot of you want to do something for them. Maybe buy them a car, maybe buy them a house. How, if you have millions of dollars in your account, you could buy them the best car, you could buy them the best house. You could treat them. They could retire from, maybe some of them, you know, I hear all the time, my parents are, you know, in their 60s and they're still working like in factories, and you see them, you know, all the time working their asses off. Can you imagine if you were a multimillionaire? How you could just help your parents, or even more, because there's parents like that don't want to retire, they want to work. Maybe you could open up a little business for them that they love, something that they always wanted to do. Think about something who you want to help has always wanted to do, and you're able to do that. I feel so good when one of my cousins or something is having a party or baby shower, and I'm able to get her the best gift that I could afford, because I'm at that status, I'm at that level to be able to do things for others, and it feels so good. This feels so good. I'm charging you, and I saw it is only $333, so you get your wishes fulfilled. This is amazing. This is utterly amazing. So don't hold back. If you already bought this, get ready and do the work. do the work. Everything will come to you in an email. Access, take your time with it, and get ready for your life to shift. I send you love and blessings. I'm super grateful that you're part of my world. Namaste.